what is it, 34 years, something like that. Is that correct?
That's exactly it. 34.
How do you do that? How do you and you're at the top of your game, you're the WWE United States champion. How do you do this at 48 years old? Not that
So
that's old, but
no, it is actually, if you think about it. I've been part of 5 decades of wrestling. When you look at it that way, I started in 89, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. So it's really amazing that the fact that God has given me still the blessing to continue doing what I love to do, and that my body is holding up, and not beat up, just holding up, feeling good, still being able to perform. But it is shocking to me at times when this question is brought up. Like I can't believe that I'm still going at this rate, but it feels good, and I still feel the need to step in the ring because I love it.
you wrestled through the different eras that most people who are wrestling fans still remember today. The WCW, the NWO era, the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression. I mean, you were there for everything, and now of course the modern era of WWE, new company TKO. It's pretty wild that you've seen all that stuff in the pro wrestling world.
It is putting all of that in perspective, just gives you the sense of wow, I can't believe that I've been able to live through all of that and still continue going, and not only that, but to have been able to father my kid and now see him, pursue his career, and share 2 years the ring by his side, and now against him. There's just so many things that have happened in my career that are a true blessing.
I actually do want to ask you about Dominic, so let's get this out of the way because maybe you don't want to talk about your son. Storylines aside, the way that he has connected with the crowd, and it's a negative, right? Because he's the bad guy, he's the heel, but he is the most I don't want to say popular heel, but he is the most hated heel right now in WWE. Are you proud of that in some ways? Because you were actually have really never been a heel for a long period of time. You've always been the good guy.
Yeah, no. As his father, you can only imagine, the feeling of pride that I get, every time he grabs a mic, and he makes that connection with the fans, whether it's a good connection or a bad connection. In this case, it's a bad connection. They don't like him. They don't let him talk. I've always fed off the chants and the ovation of the crowd. That's my energy. That's my fuel, to keep pushing forward and to give always my best. So it's in a way, it's weird to just try to imagine comparing both situations. I love the ovation. I love the chants, and he feeds off of the booze. So it's such a cool thing for me as a father. I'm enjoying his run that he's having right now, and his growth overall. I'm not gonna lie. I was the first one that was on him constantly when we wrestled together, telling him that he needed to change or do or pick up the speed on certain things, and to see him now on his own, it's like wow, this kid had something in him that I didn't even see or knew would happen so fast. But we're all witnessing, his growth, which I think is really cool. So you can only imagine as a father how I feel.
You had that match against him at Wrestlemania this past year, and I just saw a photo recently. Of course, I watched the match when it happened. I was there, but the photo was you, kind of giving him a whooping, with the belts, against the turnbuckle. He's bent over, and in the background, you see Bad Bunny on commentary, almost hysterically laughing. That's a pretty incredible moment for a number of reasons.
It is, and I guess any family can relate to you know your kids turning on you or thinking that they're doing the right thing. You know, in Hispanic families, my mom would pull out the chancla and would whoop me, or the belt, and would whoop me when I needed to be whooped. In this case, Dominic needed to be whooped. And it happened, man. It happened. It was a very special moment, iconic moment for me in my career. And to have my wife and my daughter there, the whole family, we've been part of the WWE family since I came in 2002. And the first thing that WWE did is receive me with open arms, and it's only grown so much. It's just amazing, amazing, man. I'm blown away.
So I want to ask you a little bit about this weekend, and what I'm referring to is Logan Paul, great natural up and coming WWE star, has a boxing match against Dylan Dennis. It's in Manchester, England. He wins the fight. A lot of people say it wasn't that great of a fight. He does his post-fight interview. And the person that he calls out is not a boxer. The person that he calls out is Rey Mysterio, a WWE superstar. How did you take that?
Shocking. I was like, what? What? Hold on there. What did you just say? You have your eye on something and someone that you want to go after. And obviously he wants to go after the United States title. He says he's an American boy, and that I'm on his site. So let's see. I'm not hard to find, like I told him. You can find me every Friday night on SmackDown. So we're gonna see where this goes, man. I'm intrigued to hear what he has to say.
You're a big combat sports fan. Did you watch the fight on Saturday?
Yes, I did. And that's why it was even more shocking, because I saw the fight, and I usually don't stay for the interviews afterwards, but for some reason I was sitting around the house. I believe my wife wasn't home and I was alone. And when I heard that, I was like, "What? He just said he wants to call me out." So I was like, "Okay, let's go. I'm ready."
What did you think of that fight? A lot of people are kind of criticizing it, that it wasn't that good.
So I was expecting more from Dylan. Obviously, we didn't get to see it. I really can't say how his preparation was, but in between the 6 rounds that they fought, he threw a couple blows that were very powerful. And I thought, okay, this round he's going to pick it up, and then this round he's going to pick it up, and it never did. So, I thought he could have done better.
You do watch a lot of combat sports. I know that you're a UFC fan, and for me, I love this stuff because Logan Paul's boxing. He calls out Rey Mysterio. Boxing and pro wrestling together. WWE and the UFC now are part of one company, TKO under Endeavor. I love this stuff. I love the crossover stuff. And there was a photo recently that Raúl Rosas Jr., who is one of the best up and coming MMA fighters. He's a UFC fighter. He's 18. He was the youngest fighter signed to the UFC last year at 17. Posted a photo with you and said that he was your hero. Did you see? Did you know who he was? Did you see this photo? And what did you think of that situation?
Yeah. So funny thing is, I went to do Brandon Moreno's podcast because he's out in Vegas and I'm also out in Vegas. And I made a great connection with Brandon Moreno, who is also a beast in that octagon, man. And that day, Raul was there, so we took some shots with the group. And when he won his last fight, I actually posted that picture, and I think he reposted it. I was congratulating him on his win because I know he didn't do good the previous fight, but he needed this win, so I was very happy for him. But this is cool, man. This is this cross promotion, like you said. Logan fighting Mayweather not too long ago, and then having this fight, and just the combination of sports and sports entertainment is unbelievable. It's really good. We're in a different era, and another thing I have to take in consideration is Logan Paul's growth in the ring. The last match he had against Roman Reigns was really good. Now, if I forward a little bit more, his last match at SummerSlam against Ricochet was unbelievably good. So I know I'm going to have a battle in front of me, and I just got to prep myself up.
Let me actually ask you about that, because you've been in the game, as we've said, for a very long time. And Logan Paul just has really a handful of matches. I don't even think he has 10 matches yet. No. And what he's been able to do, at least from just an onlooker's perspective, is pretty impressive. Say what you will about him, off camera or on camera in some
Right.
cases, but the in-ring work, I mean, have you seen anyone pick it up as quickly as he has?
So I haven't in my 34 years of being in the business. Um, when I saw Bad Bunny wrestle at Mania the first time next to Damien, that was pretty impressive. And then I saw him in his last match in Puerto Rico against Damien, and that was actually very impressive as well. It's like every time he stepped in the ring, he got better, and I don't think he has the time to train every day like we do or like we used to do. So it's very scary to see talent from outside of sports entertainment, from the music industry or influencer that come in and pick up like that. So it's shocking, but at the same time, very athletic, Logan Paul, and is incredible to adapt and picking up the craft very, very fast.
I would love to see how about this match? Rey Mysterio, Bad Bunny against Dominic Mysterio and Logan Paul. How about that?
Ooh,
It's a
I like
WrestleMania match.
that. Ooh, I like that. Put it out the universe. Let's hope WWE listens to that and picks it up. That's a good one.
Few more questions for you, man, and thank you for the time. Of course, you mentioned Brandon Moreno. He was the first Mexican-born UFC champion. He's still one of the great fighters in the sport right now. He did a little bit of lucha libre over the
He
summer
did.
in July for your good friend, your close friend Conan. He's the
Yeah.
booker over at AAA, and
Yeah.
Moreno came in and he did a little appearance at Triple Mania in Tijuana. Did you see this, and what did you think of his technique?
I saw a little bit of the footage on social media, and we had the podcast maybe a month before that happened, and I was trying to convince him, bro, show me a little bit of MMA, and I'll teach you some of the ropes. Let's get in the ring. He goes, I would love to. So we were kind of joking it out, but I believe he does have a passion for wrestling, for lucha. So I would love to interact more with him in the future, and hope that maybe one day he decides to step in a WWE ring.
Conan, as we mentioned, he did an incredible speech for your WWE Hall of Fame induction back in the spring. He has a wrestler down in Mexico now. His name is Hijo del Vikingo, and Conan said recently that you talked to Vikingo about this, about maybe not going too hard. Some of the things that this guy does, I mean, he's like a viral sensation. He's on social media and he's doing all these crazy flips and dives and very dangerous, high risk stuff. Did you have that conversation? And what did you say to him? Because a lot of people do compare him and you.
Yeah, so he's actually very, very good. And I believe he was going through an injury at the time, and I kind of connected him with the people to see if he can get his knee taken care of. But overall, I said it happened to me. A lot of people would tell me to slow down, and with all due respect, I would always say thank you. Yes, I will, and it would almost come in through one ear and out the other, and I wouldn't pay attention. Obviously, until you start going through injuries and surgeries, that you're not slowing down because they're telling you. You're slowing down because now you need to, because you can't risk your body anymore as you did. So I pretty much gave him that advice and told him that he can still be incredible if he just toned it down 2 beats more, sometimes 3 beats more. Pick the moments on where you want to do your things to impact. You don't have to do it every night because they already know who you are. And I hope that he takes the advice and not have to suffer what I did, which learned the hard way.
Final thing for you, Ray, and I want to ask you about who a dream opponent might be, and it sounds like maybe this Logan Paul match might happen in the future, maybe Saudi Arabia, Crown Jewel coming up. But do you have anyone out there right now that you want to face, that you want to wrestle, that you haven't yet, or maybe you have a little bit and you want to do more with them?
Wow. So it was at one point, I remember when my son was up and coming. He wasn't even signed to the company yet, and we said, imagine if one day we can wrestle against each other. So that would be like so cool, the ultimate. and it happened. It happened this year at WrestleMania. So that was kind of marked off the box right away, and very sooner than expected. So I still haven't had my eyes on anyone yet that I would really love to say, you know what, this is the one I would love to have. There's just the talent is growing, the roster is getting better. This match with Logan, when it happens, I think it'll be a very good match. Just because of how fluid he moves and how fast he's picking up and how athletic he is overall. I enjoyed very much the match we had at WrestleMania last year against The Miz and him, my son and I, and really impressed me, man. He really did. So I know he has a lot to give for this industry.
Do you have a favorite opponent, by the way, like over the last 34 years, someone that you liked wrestling the most?
Man, for me, the one that stands out and has always been like the one that helped Rey Mysterio grow was Psychosis. Psychosis was the guy that would do anything with me, anything, and make me look like a beast in the ring, and vice versa. We had such great chemistry that over the years I've picked up that chemistry with other wrestlers, but it was Psychosis from the beginning, and then of course when I stepped in the ring with Eddie, we created magic. And I'm not going to leave Kurt Angle out as well, because Kurt Angle, from the world that he comes from, to be able to perform the way he did with me, and not even knowing the lucha style, was really incredible.
Great. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And good luck with this situation with Logan Paul. Should be interesting to see how it all develops.